In the ancient world, no empire was as powerful as the Persian Empire. Under the leadership of Cyrus the Great, Persia became a symbol of unmatched military strength. By the 6th century BCE, Cyrus' empire stretched from the Mediterranean Sea to the Indus River, making it the largest the world had ever seen at that time. Yet, for all his wisdom and strength, Cyrus met his match in an unexpected foe, a woman who would carve her name into history, Queen Tomyris. On the northeastern borders of his empire lay the lands of the Massagetae, a nomadic people known for their unyielding spirit and mastery of the steppes. Leading them was Queen Tomyris. Unlike Cyrus, who relied on the wealth and might of an empire, Tomyris commanded warriors who valued freedom above all else. In the clash between the great Persian Empire and a fiercely independent queen, history would witness battle of armies. This is the story of Queen Tomyris, the woman who defied an empire. To understand Queen Tomyris and the formidable resistance of her people, we must first journey to the rugged steppes of Central Asia, where the Massagetae kingdom thrived. The Massagetae were part of the greater Scythian culture, a group of nomadic tribes renowned for their fierce cavalry and unmatched archery skills. Unlike the settled civilizations of Persia or Babylon, the Massagetae lived a life on the move, building their society around freedom, adaptability, and survival. While they were nomads, the Massagetae were not without order. Their society was deeply rooted in tradition and governed by a council of elders and their leaders. It was in this environment that Queen Tomyris emerged, a leader forged by the demands of the steppe, prepared to defend her people at all costs. After the death of her husband, the king of the Massagetae, Tomyris rose to power as the queen of the tribe. Her leadership was defined by strength, wisdom, and an unrelenting commitment to her people. But her reign was soon challenged by one of the most greatest rulers of her time, Cyrus the Great. In an attempt to expand his empire without bloodshed, Cyrus proposed marriage to Tomyris, offering what seemed like an alliance. But the queen saw through his true intentions. He didn't seek her hand in marriage, he sought her kingdom. Tomyris firmly rejected his proposal. Enraged by her rejection, Cyrus turned to his advisors, including the legendary King Croesus of Lydia, who suggested a more aggressive approach. Following this council, Cyrus resolved to invade the Massagetae and bring their lands under Persian control by force. Cyrus's armies marched towards the lands of the Massagetae, building a bridge across the Araxes River to cross into their territory. But before the battle could begin, Queen Tomyris sent him a message, one that showcased both her wisdom and her defiance. "Be content with ruling your own kingdom," she warned, "and allow me to rule mine. If you insist on war, I swear by the sun, the lord of the Massagetae, you will get your fill of blood." The first encounter between Cyrus's forces and the Massagetae ended in disaster for the Persians. Tomyris's warriors routed the initial assault, forcing Cyrus to retreat and rethink his strategy. But Cyrus devised a cunning plan to ambush the Massagetae. Knowing the Massagetae were unaccustomed to drinking wine, Cyrus ordered his forces to set up a lavish banquet in the abandoned Persian camp, leaving behind large quantities of food and wine. Then he withdrew his forces, waiting for the Massagetae to take the bait. When Tomyris's son Spargapises led a contingent of warriors into the Persian camp, they found the feast and, unaware of the trap, indulged in the wine. Drunk and defenseless, the Massagetae forces were ambushed by Cyrus's army. Spargapises himself was captured during the attack. When Tomyris learned of her son Spargapises's tragic death, her sorrow was immeasurable. Her son had taken his own life in captivity, unable to bear the shame of his defeat. In her fury, she sent a searing message to Cyrus, calling the wine he had used to deceive her people a poison that drove men mad, and she swore an oath upon the sun, the god of the Massagetae. "Cyrus, you have taken my son and spilled the blood of my people. Now I swear I will give you more blood than you can ever drink." With this promise, Tomyris herself led her army into battle. The Massagetae and the Persians met in a ferocious battle on the steppes. The Massagetae fought with the fury of warriors defending their homeland. The Persians, despite their superior numbers and tactics, were overwhelmed by the relentless assault. Amidst the chaos, Cyrus the Great met his end. His army was annihilated, and his body was found among the dead. True to her word, Tomyris sought out Cyrus's body on the battlefield. She severed his head and placed it into a bag filled with blood. After her legendary victory over Cyrus the Great, Queen Tomyris faded from historical records. Her defiance and triumph against the mighty Persian Empire became a tale passed down through the ages. But the story of her people, the Massagetae, did not end there. For decades they maintained their independence, but the shadow of the Persian Empire continued to loom over the steppes. By 520 BC, the Achaemenid Empire had a new ruler, Darius, a king determined to consolidate and expand Persian power. Skunkha, the successor of Tomyris, took up the mantle of resistance. Leading the Massagetae, he defied Persian dominance and rebelled against the empire. His defiance echoed the independent spirit of his tribe, but the Achaemenid Empire had grown even stronger under Darius's rule. In 520 BC, Darius launched a military campaign against the Sakas, a broader group of nomadic tribes that included the Massagetae. The campaign was brutal, and Darius's strategy was relentless. Ultimately, Skunkha was captured, and the Massagetae's independence came to an end. With Skunkha's defeat, Darius ensured the Massagetae would no longer pose a threat to Persian authority. He appointed a ruler loyal to the Achaemenid Empire to govern the tribe, marking the end of their resistance. Though the Massagetae eventually fell to the Persians, the memory of Tomyris's triumph over Cyrus lived on. The present-day country of Kazakhstan has adopted Tomyris as its national heroine and issues coins in her honor.